get into Belle Collective. Um, Letitia and Glenn are FaceTiming because Tisha just found out from these ladies that Glenn was over here speaking to an attorney. They said divorce attorney. And see, these boys be gossiping. What's his name? Mike went back and talked to Selena. Selena's not even in here. She done stirred up trouble and hit the road. Um, Mike told Selena it's just a game of telephone, but she's mad at him. I mean, I guess she's embarrassed, but that's because these guys gossip. But she did the same thing to him. I hate taking up for Glenn, but Tisha started this. She went talking to people. She didn't tell him. She just came back talking about, I saw a financial advisor, and I think we should get a post nut. She brought those things up. So all Glenn did was go to an attorney, not a divorce attorney. He went to an attorney to find out what's a post nut and what happens with his assets and things. Um, Monster-in-law must have been high in these episodes. They said she be drinking. They said she be drinking. Tisha, you started this. You brought up the post nup. I think as Glenn did what any normal person would do and go find out, for himself. Him talking to Mike, I think that's what men do too. You were talking behind his back. I think the only person here that we should have a problem with is Selena, because Selena ran her mouth to her friends, and I'm not even mad at that because that's what friends do. But you brought it up to Tisha in front of everyone instead of in private. And I feel like, if you was a real one, that's what you would have done. But maybe you was on some get back. I don't know. But, that's how she handled that. Latrice wants a baby. This is what happens when you marry an old ass nigga. I don't have a nicer way to put that. There's a huge age gap with Cliff and Latrice. Cliff thought he was gonna marry a little young girl. He wanted her to have a baby back in the day. She didn't want to. She was 28 years old. Latrice had dreams of becoming a businesswoman, and she has done that. I don't think Latrice really wants a baby, to be honest. I think she's in love with the idea. She's looking at Tambra over there with her daughter and probably other friends. Her and Stormy are friends. You look at little Chess and he's so freaking cute. That's not a reason to have a baby, especially if you've not ever wanted one before. So I think Latrice is going through health issues with blood clots and stuff. The fact that you're already dealing with blood clots is frightening to think of what having a baby, you know what I'm saying, would do to your body. So I don't know. Freeze your eggs, get a surrogate, find a new man when this one expires. That's all I can say about that. But this is what happens when there's a huge age gap. And I've dated, much younger than me. I've been in relationships with someone much younger than me. But it's about what people have accomplished in life. When you have people with no children and that kind of thing, I think it needs to match. When there's big things in people's lives that they haven't accomplished yet, things that you haven't done, then you don't match that with somebody much older than you. She seems scared of motherhood. Isn't that interesting? Because it seems like I love her mom. Her mom is like, they have a great relationship. Her mother like does a great job of handling Cliff. It's almost like, probably because they're the same age, but it feels like Cliff has more respect for her mom because she's lived longer and she knows more. And I mean, I don't think he respects Latrice. He should, because she's proved to be a smart woman. But I think, he's an old ass man from the country who feels like, there's gender roles and people are supposed to do things a certain type of way. I understand him saying he don't want no baby. But, at this point, he wasn't going to take care of it no way. Just give her the baby. It's not like he was going to be over somewhere, changing diapers or any of those things 10 years ago. He's a man who believes in gender roles, and gender roles is, her taking care of the kid and him doing work. But now I feel like he's ready to retire and chill. He out there fishing. She said they have a lot of land and she's never been out there fishing with her husband. And I think that's crazy. I can't imagine. I can't imagine if I had that kind of land and my husband was out there fishing that I would have not been out there with a beer or some champagne or the shit she was doing when she was over there. So that says a lot about their relationship and, you know, her having a baby. My niece, like had pictures all Father's Day weekend with them going fishing and stuff. Those are things like how you live on all that property and don't take advantage of it. You think Cliff loves Latrice? It seems like a storyline. I mean, I don't know. I guess he loves her as much as he knows how to. I can't get past Cliff, in the parking lot calling her bitches. He's definitely changed his behavior in front of the camera. But I can't forget him snatching her by the arm and, acting a fool when she went out with her friends. And so maybe he's settling down a little bit. Maybe he's feeling a little bit different because she did have these health issues. But at the same time, she was at the hospital and he was over at Taste getting drunk. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like, for me, I don't feel like she necessarily really wants to be a mom. I think she likes the idea of it. Being a mother is something different. So if you ain't want no kids, then I don't recommend it. I recommend you just be an auntie. It's easier. Um, yeah. Marie Monroe. Marie Monroe has a date. He saw himself and calmed down. He walked, yeah, because the people were questioning him, and then we had Josh over there. He was like looking like he saw all kinds of horrible things happening at that house when he went to stay over there. So, and I feel like that's part of the reason why Cliff hates Josh so much, because Josh is a messy little big mouth, and he was over there seeing things behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's definitely calmed down for the cameras. I appreciate it, to be honest, because it was hard to watch before. Um, I don't know, like Latrice is still young, but if you thinking about having babies, girl, then you better get them eggs somewhere and then be prepared for that whole IVF procedure, because anybody that has gone through IVF, talk to Stormy. They all have a story for you. That's not something I had to go through, but I can't imagine, make it hormonally crazy. Carrie's mother-in-law, this lady with this cockatoo hairdo, has a lot of nerve. And I blame Matt, because you know exactly how your mother is. I do not understand him sending his wife, his mother, over there to talk to Carrie. This ain't no new relationship. Carrie and her mother-in-law been getting along like this for a really long time. This is the nature of their relationship. Her mama was looking at that lady like, this lady drunk, so I'm not about to say anything. But Matt, what is going on with you? What is it that you want? Because you were talking about the brick and spoon and how they need to close it. He gaslights his mama to that's what he did. And she didn't even follow through on the assignment. She was supposed to come over there and talk about the restaurant. That's not what she did. She came over there to talk about this lady don't be home and her husband, my son, take care of my son. I cannot imagine myself sitting up talking to my son's partner about how she don't know how to take care of him. I don't give a shit. If he don't require her to cook, then he don't require her to cook. I don't have anything to say about their relationship. As far as the restaurant, please don't have somebody who's never worked come over here and try to tell me how to handle business, because I feel like she said her mama was over there with her own business. So she ain't raised like that. And that's how that is. But Matt, what is it that you want? He said he wanted to start his own business. It sounds like he's done that. He started his own business. And so, brick and spoon or whatever is the restaurant being closed, open. At the end of the day, I feel like she's trying to sell it. But as long as like you want her to just pay rent for the building, she's trying to keep these people employed until, further notice. She was one of those mothers that made her son her emotional spouse. It seems like it. Do she have a man? I don't know what that hairdo. We ain't seen Matt's daddy. We've only seen his mama. come over there. It's wild because she doesn't look like a traditional woman. She's over here looking all edgy and like she's a worldly woman, and she's not. She's one of these ladies who's, I guess, never worked before and thinks her son should have his hot meal ready when he comes home from work. He better order takeout, and them kids are not little. And I feel like, based on what Carrie said, he be going doing his thing too. So Matt, I feel like this is first storyline, because ain't nobody about to go back and forth with your mama. Don't do it. Don't bring your mama over here to get cussed out. Carrie over on the coast, so they got to go over there on the coast and make up something. Um, she criticized her as a wife. She did say you're a great mom, but then she followed up with, you need to be here and cook for these kids. And Carrie was like, you got a car, you're able-bodied, you can come over here as much as you want to, spend time with your grandchildren. Yeah, she looks like a very modern woman. That ain't what we getting. So yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna get more of that next week. Not too much on the arguing with your mama-in-law, but like I said, Carrie over there on the coast, so they got to figure out something to do with her. And again, Matt made this up. Matt, I'm gonna make you responsible for this. Then you got up there in front of Carrie and was like, "What? What are you talking about? Why y'all let her do all that? What you mean? Why they let her?" And I guess Carrie's mama, if the lady drunk when she left her, and Carrie had a good kiki about how Matt's mama got an ugly haircut and can't hold her liquor. So, did I talk about Marie Monroe? Not really. Marie Monroe had a date. I'm going to say this about the date. It was cute or whatever. I don't want that man singing no more. As far as I'm concerned, he's singing about as good as her ex-husband. This is more her speed. I don't, know why Tisha set her up with one of Glenn's little gold teeth friends, but I'm with Marie. Like, how did I make the right choice? For tonight, I had a good time, but I'm outside, and so you're gonna have to work harder, Mr. Aerospace Engineer, to get Marie Monroe's attention, because that lady is a doctor with several businesses. And so, yeah, but I like that. I want to see Marie with somebody on her level. You know what I'm saying? He is Southern man. She got all kind of biscuits and junk in her trunk, the stuff he liked. He said she smelled good and she's pretty. She says she can look good with this makeup on or with this makeup off. So I like it. I don't really need to see like the process. You could bring him back if it's for real. If she keeps dating him, that's cool. I want to see Marie go out with the saxophone player too, though, because they had a little chemistry. And I don't know why she didn't pick him. Maybe because, I would have picked this guy first too. I ain't gonna lie. The aerospace man, I would have went ahead and see what he's talking about. But I want to see her go out with the saxophone man because, they had a little, like I said, they had a little energy. I don't know if she was feeling this man like that. Hey, Elle said she passed it through. She said hit the like button. So if you're here, hit the like. If you're running through in the bushes, hit the like. And hit the subscribe too. Marie's day had ashy eyebrows. Oh, now I got to look at the man again. You don't believe he's telling the truth about his career? He couldn't wait to sing on camera. People that wanted to get an opportunity to be a singer always be singing, even whether they can sing good or not. What's his name? Cedric was over there singing. Why you don't believe he did what he said? Did the saxophone man have a job? He's a saxophone player. I didn't say she should keep him. I said she should go out with him, and so we can see more. According to High Vibe, this man ain't really no aerospace engineer, like he said. I don't know. Why do you not believe that's his job? Oh, I don't need to see Marie Monroe go on another. I don't need to see her go on dating like that. But if she picks one of these guys that she likes to use as her escort for events and things, like when the ladies be bringing their husbands, she should have a couple on standby until she finds the one she wants. I see Marie in my mind with some, land man like Cliff that has a lot of property. You know what I'm saying? Somebody to do strong things with his hands. She needs a complete opposite of Cedric, because Cedric is over there getting manicures and things, down to the beauty salon. Because he had because he has ashy eyebrows. Are you sure it wasn't gray hair? Let me see this man's eyebrows. I can't tell. I can't tell that they're ashy. Um, I don't know. High Vibe said it's a no. So let's go ahead and see what happens with the saxophone player. In the meantime, I'm a country boy. You know what I'm saying? That wears Levi's jeans and cowboy boots, and he works, with his hands for a living. But he has a lot of money. You know what I mean? Because we don't want Marie Monroe over here taking care of anybody either. You know what I'm saying? She's an independent woman. So yeah, that's pretty much all that went on over there uh, with the Bells.